It changed me from an attender to a participator.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah,
It's different. Our biggest battle I hear you guys working on every week is that now go out here and be the church. Do something the next week, except to be here next Sunday.
that's right.
Right.
Welcome, everyone, to Renew Your Mind podcast. With us today, we have Senior Pastor Paul Gruenberg, we have Associate Pastor Jeremy Touroo, and we have a very special guest, Mason Buckingham. And we're continuing our topic of small groups. And we asked Mason to join us because he has been a facilitator and a participant to a couple of small groups for I think for quite a while, but I'll let Mason, you introduce yourself and then tell us about your small groups.
Well, I have been involved in the small groups in this church forever.
Okay.
And we don't need to go back there.
Okay. I won't make you tell us how many
That's
years.
a long time.
That's a long time, yeah. And so there are two groups that I'm involved with. Had something to do with initiating. There's a Monday night men's group.
Okay.
And there's been a men's group in our church for quite a while. It was Tuesday night for a long time. It kind of lost its momentum with COVID. And so that group has dwindled to just a couple of people. And so we go to lunch one time a month with that
nice.
group to keep it going.
Good.
If it ever gets revived, that's where we would be with that.
Okay.
The other one on Monday night has not been quite as long. We started with that. Well, I really don't know dates here, so I don't know.
That's all right. But it's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. And that's been there. We've been doing various things. We did a lot of things that were book studies.
Okay.
That were done, and we didn't do many Bible studies. This last group right now is they decided they wanted to do a Bible study, and they've been doing the Book of Mark, and they've alternated at facilitating that group between Bill Jordan.
Okay.
And Bill has been taking care of his mom, and so he's gone every other week. So on the every other week, Mike Cooper has taken over. So the two of them have back and forth on it. We're about done with that, and we haven't established what we're going to do next.
Okay.
That group will stop meeting weekly during the summer. And in June, July, and August, we meet someplace in the park, have a picnic.
Oh, for your kind of grand finale?
And we've in the past have invited various people to come in and talk to us about what they do.
Oh, okay.
And people like Scott Thompson's wife,
Jessie,
yeah, right. Fascinating what she does,
Isn't it?
and so that was very interesting. But that kind of thing in the summertime.
Okay.
One-shot speaker.
Yeah.
Questions.
And that kind of keeps you going until the fall gets back
Till we
on
get
schedule
back
with
on the
weekly. Okay.
We usually try to know where we're going in the fall before we cash it in in the spring.
Yeah.
But we haven't done that yet. It's on the docket.
Okay. So what? I guess if I stick with that, the Monday night men's group, I think what is really wonderful about that is somebody that had to be away and then somebody else co-facilitated. And, that's just what happens. Life happens and you have to figure out how to keep it going.
That's one big value with small groups. If it's very easy to train the next facilitator. Once you've been in the small group for a while, you see that you're not teaching, you're facilitating.
That's right.
All you're doing is keeping the conversation going and on target, and it's really not hard. And so my goal has always been to try to make everybody in that group a facilitator at some time or other. So we spread us out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not as I don't want to say overwhelming, but it's just more of a sharing. And yeah, I think that's great. And then you're training all those people to be facilitators as well.
Yeah. And we can, have somebody take over for a week because you didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
Who will take over for a week. They get experience. And pretty soon they're ready to, they could. That's how Bill and Mike got involved. Mike's been involved with a small group as far as for a long time.
Have you seen a lot of people grow, like over the years of being in the small groups?
Yeah, we've had a higher death rate than we like to brag about.
Yeah,
but we've had some men come into our group at the last end of their experience with church, and they come to our group, and we hope went on from here in the up direction,
right?
And I think they have.
That's hard. Yeah,
and so it's been an experience that way of people who really haven't been involved in our church very much. Some of them are 3-4 times a year, Christmas time, whatever. And a couple of them never.
Yeah.
And
you must be a welcoming group, for people to take that step.
I think that's one of the pluses of small groups is you're involved with other people that don't know any more than you do about what's going on. And so it's not a teaching situation as much as it is a bounce it off on somebody else.
Yeah.
What were your experiences?
Growing together.
Those is really
Yeah.
good, and there's no resistance to call somebody short. Well, that's not the way I see it, and away we go. And we've had some interesting men in it that way.
Yeah.
That want to,
So Mason, I know your group. I've hung out with you guys a couple of times, which has been great at the park.
Yeah.
And I know over time, at times, I'm not sure where you're at now, but you've had mixed age. You've had some young men as well as some older men. What's that like to have kind of younger people among you in the group as well as older people?
It's they haven't complained.
Yeah, I imagine not. Yeah.
So I don't know, but we have one younger fella that's in our Monday nights group, been there for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's very much a part of it.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's like our congregation. We're full of older people, and it's so good to see younger people in the
Right.
in the game around here.
Yeah.
And so it's good to see them forming their own groups.
Yes.
And that's good too.
But it's what a neat. I just love when you have mixed ages in a group because everyone can learn from one another, and then you might get a younger person's perspective, and then you can have a good conversation. Or I don't know. I have a soft spot for that because you just learn from every stage of life from other people.
That's true, and they have been the one young group or young person we have, I think, has gone through some difficult times, and he has to his use is the experiences of all the older guys. We've all ever been down that, especially about raising teenagers. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, this is the young men teaching, or older men teaching younger men.
Yeah.
Older women teaching younger women. Process that the scriptures kind of lay out. you said you've played. You've been in small groups for a long time. How have you seen that help you spiritually through the years? When you said forever, I was thinking 50 years, but maybe not quite so long.
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you the years, but yeah, it changed me from an attender to a participator.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
It's different. And our biggest battle I hear you guys working on every week is that now go out of here and be the church. Do something the next week, except to be here next Sunday.
That's right.
Right.
And lots of the older people that we have in our groups are reluctant to open up and talk. And they're very more comfortable sitting and listening and walking away. And you never know, well, did that do it or didn't that do it?
That's right.
And Mike Cooper got me involved a long time ago. And through a program for men in the church, tried to think of the name of the program, but we did some meetings and big meetings down in Detroit in the
like Promise Keepers?
Promise Keepers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And so it pushed me into the conversation kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
You went to the Detroit Silverdome,
at the
Pontiac
Silverdome.
Silverdome.
Yeah.
I saw you there.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was there.
You didn't know that, did you?
No, I did not. There were like 70,000 men there, or was that Indianapolis? But
There were a lot of people there.
oh, it was packed out, and it was such a beautiful time for guys to come together. I remember the first night. It was my twin brother, and my brother-in-law came up, and we went to the Pontiac Silverdome, and my brother went down, and my brother-in-law went down when they had the call the first night, and I was privileged to be a part of that.
Yeah. I was in the balcony, so it was a little hard for me to get down there. But
Pretty steep steps in the Silverdome.
yeah. When I throw that rope over the side, and start going down, then people kind of looked at that. It wasn't good. No.
But it was amazing worship, amazing speakers.
Yeah.
And
One of the only times the Silverdome was packed with people, too.
The other stuff that goes on
Jeremy.
there.
They had Barry Sanders. That was it. Yeah.
Although I never missed the high school finals down there.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
I went to that a couple times as well. Yep.
Well, Mason, not too many people know this, but you have worked through Bibles and written in them and then given them to your grandkids.
Yeah. Each one has one.
Wow.
Some of them two already.
So they have not only something that you read and marked up, but they have a part of you in your spiritual life as well. And has that caused to help foster that relationship of talking about God with your grandkids?
Yeah, it has. I mean, I lead them into things with my daily or weekly thought for the week. Check this out in whatever book of the Bible. If you want to check it out, look this up. Don't tell me you don't have a Bible, because I know you.
Yeah, no, you can't say that to Mason. Yeah.
No, I think that's wonderful, Mason, because if somebody would have talked to me as a kid like that and a very active,
A grandparent or...
yeah, I would have had a much different, I think, Christian life at that time. So thank you for doing that. So it makes a huge difference in your grandkids.
Well, I think in our church, the thing that I'd like to see more of that I've never been able to get started is the relationship between our kids and our adults,
Yeah.
other than parents.
Yeah.
You know, if we could just get the older people to relate to the younger people, know their name, ask them what they did in school this week. I mean, or every time you see them in the hallway, you know, shake their hand or do something. It would be so important for our kids
Yeah.
to have an adult relationship and connect it with church.
Yeah.
And a voice that, you know, rent a granddad kind of thing. I think that would be very helpful.
Well, we might have just come up with a new small group. Well, I just thank you so much, Mason, for joining us and telling us about your experiences in small group. I mean, it's amazing. We've talked to so many people about so many different small groups, and you brought yet, you know, another
Aspect,
thought,
yeah.
another aspect, the young and the old. Just, I don't know, co-facilitating, things like that. So
It's great.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you,
Well,
Mason.
Yeah, we come to you from the Gaylord Methodist Church, and we have 2 services on Sunday, a traditional at 9 a.m. and a contemporary at 10:45 a.m. We also have every second and fourth Wednesday Encountering God service, and it starts at 7:15 p.m. We'd love everybody listening to us to come join us in person. If you can't, though, you can see us on Facebook or YouTube. And if you have any questions, just Google us or call the office at 989-732-5380. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. And thank you so much, Mason, for joining us.
You're welcome.